Hi guys, my name is Yana and I decided to do a shot-by-shot review of the new Bridgerton trailer. If you have read the books by Julia Quinn on which the series is based on, you will probably be interested in it, but beware because I will talk about spoilers from the first 6 books in the series, so if you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch. We start with a shot of Daphne entering a ballroom. Then we have an aerial shot of Grosvenor Square, where Bridgerton House, their wanted residence is. This is Bridgerton House, with a lilac in front. And I believe the Duke of Hastings' house is just across the square. Then we have a shot of Portia Featherington and her husband, Walt Featherington. Walt Featherington is a new character. In the books he does not appear. He has already passed away, but they have added him to the TV show. Then we have a shot of Daphne and Simon dancing. I'm pretty sure that's them. And I think that is the ball we see later on in the trailer, where with the dance floor outside in the garden and the fireworks. This is a shot of Marina Thompson. We know that she appears in the books first in book 5 to Sir Philip with Love. She is married to Sir Philip Crane, who is always his love interest, but they're introducing her earlier in the show since season 1. I believe Thompson is her maiden name, and she's supposed to be staying with the Featheringtons, which means that she's probably related to them. This is a shot of Queen Charlotte. She is also a new addition to the TV series, but she's also a real historical figure. She's the wife of King George III. Many historians believe that she actually was the first mixed-race royal. The series takes place in the year 1813, and at that time the prince was known as the Prince Regent because King George III had problems with mental illness and was unable to fulfill his duties as king, and his son and heir, George, Prince of Wales, became the Prince Regent. That's why the period is known as the Regency era. Then we have a shot of Anthony with Sienna Rosso, the opera singer. We first meet her in the books in book 2, where it's revealed that her and Anthony used to have an affair in the past. And since the TV show is not limited to Daphne and Simon point of view, I believe we are going to learn more about Anthony and expand upon his storyline and also his past with Sienna. I know that people feel uncomfortable with all of the sex scenes they're showing of them, of Sienna and Anthony, but I trust in the writers to use those and his relationship with Sienna to reveal more things about his character. This is a shot of Sienna in the audience, which is kind of weird to me because she's a performer, she is an opera singer, and we can see behind her this is Cressida Cowper, Penelope's nemesis and tormentor. This is a scene from Daphne's debut in front of the Queen. I believe it was a tradition back then for all the young ladies in the town to be presented in front of the Queen on their debut season, and that's why she's wearing all white. Now we have a scene of the obligatory period drama corset scene of Prudence Featherington, the eldest Featherington daughter, being placed into her corset. And we can see her mom, her sister Philippa, and Penelope. This is a close-up of Philippa and Penelope looking terrified as they see their sister being placed into her corset. This should be the first column, and we will see it published and delivered to the aristocracy. Next we have scenes of delivery boys giving out the column, and since they don't stop to expect payment, I suppose it's the first column. Here we have a shot of a young lady and an older woman, and I've heard speculation that this might be a shot of Kate Sheffield and her mother Mary. Kate Sheffield appears in book 2 and she's Anthony's love interest, but I think that is not true, because Kate and her sister and mom arrive in London in 1814, 1 year after the events of The Duke and I, and at that time, at the time that the first season takes place, they should be happily living in the country. These, I think, are just two actors, and if the character of Kate Sheffield has been cast already, we don't know who has been cast in the role for sure. Here we have a shot of Lady Danbury. This is a scene of the Featherington sisters and Marina getting ready. Here we see Penelope being covered with some kind of homemade cream. And here we can see all the Featherington sisters, Prudence, Philippa and Penelope and their mom. Penelope wanted to be anywhere else but here. Poor Penelope looks really uncomfortable. And this is Gracie the Cowper's mom, Lady Cowper. Next we have this scene of suitors being accepted into a drawing room, but I believe this scene is probably of the suitors visiting Daphne after the ball where her and Simon pretend to be attached. Then we have a ballroom scene, where we see Lady Violet Bridgerton, Daphne Bridgerton, and her brother Anthony Bridgerton, who is the current Viscount Bridgerton and head of the family, escorting his mother and sister in the ballroom. We see a scene of Colin dancing. I suppose it's the same ball, because it looks rather similar with the candles and the inside ballroom. I don't know who that is. I don't recognize a person, probably an extra. And then we see a dancing scene of Marina, but I don't think she's dancing with Colin. At least the back of this actor's head doesn't look the same. He has lighter hair. And then we have a scene of Daphne wearing the same dress from the previous scene with her mom and brother, talking with this man. He is the actor Jamie Beamish, who has been cast to play Nigel Berbrook, and he is appearing in 2 episodes. And as you can see, they are talking together, and he's holding a glass of lemonade. And as they are talking, she feels rather uncomfortable and leaves him, runs away, and then bumps into Simon. And by their reaction, we are led to believe that this is their first meeting. And I believe that since we can see her running away from fully conscious and seemingly sober Nigel Berbrook and then bumping into Simon, this is their first meeting, and they have changed how the events go in the book. That doesn't mean that they won't show us the altercation between Daphne and Nigel in the hall, with Simon intervening, but at that point they would have already met. So I do believe this is their first meeting. then her running away from Nigel and bumping into Simon. And I believe that is how they first meet. And then Anthony comes into the fray, and he introduces Daphne to Simon. Then we have, I believe, the same ball where Lady Featherington notices the Duke immediately and alerts all the other eligible young ladies, and we have Simon swarmed up by gushing young ladies. But he is throwing looks at Daphne, being taken away by Anthony. Then we have this scene, which is an audience with the Queen, with Queen Charlotte, and we have Lady Danbury, Lady Violet Bridgerton, Simon, and this I believe is Daphne, and they're being brought in front of the Queen. This might be regarding the procurement of special license to marry, or maybe seeking agreement from the Queen about the match between Simon and Daphne. After all, Simon is a duke, and that is a rather high title in British society. And also I read that since they are using the basis for Queen Charlotte as the real historical figure of Queen Charlotte, who is believed to be of mixed race, they're weaving that into the series, and they believe that she managed to elevate other people of color in positions of power, and maybe her and Simon's family have a connection in that way. Maybe she was the one to grant his father the title of the Dukedom of Hastings. Then we have a closer look at the Bridgerton London residence, Bridgerton House. It is rather beautiful with all the flowers and the lilac. Then we have a scene of the Bridgerton family dinner to which Simon is invited. All the Bridgertons are present: Daphne, Francesca, Anthony, Eloise, Gregory, Colin, Benedict, and Violet. This is our first sighting of Benedict, but we can only see Hyacinth's hands. We have seen a brief snippet of this dinner scene before, released on Instagram and Twitter. And here Daphne and Simon are having a conversation, and he says to her, "We find ourselves seated beside each other. I think you are happy about that." And she replies, "It'd be better if you refrain from thinking about me at all." And then there are 3 brief scenes that are intercut in that conversation. This scene of a female being undressed. I believe this is Daphne, and those are Simon's hands. And that scene is from their wedding night. And this scene, this is probably Daphne's hand. And the third scene is of Simon getting up from bed, where I believe he has spent the night with some unknown woman. We have seen that scene before in the teaser trailer. And then we continue. During those scenes, we hear Daphne's voiceover. She says, "I am aware of your reputation." And then she says to him, "I am anything but interested in you." And he replies, "And I anything but interested in you." Then we have a shot of, I think this is supposed to be Hyde Park, the Serpentine in Hyde Park, which is a very important location from book 2, as you probably know. It looks beautiful, but a bit CGI in the background, because I don't think they actually shot in Hyde Park. I think they shot these scenes in other locations. That's why the backgrounds are changed. Then we have a scene of Simon and Daphne walking in the park. That is probably from the time they decide to fake date, or to pretend to have an attachment with each other. So then we have a scene of probably from the same park of Eloise and Penelope having a walk. We are made aware of Eloise and Penelope's friendship, mostly as a flashback in book 4. But since we are in the TV show, we are not limited to the specific points of view of the lead characters. We are expanding upon Eloise and Penelope's friendship, and I couldn't be more happy because I would love to see more of those two. Then we have a scene of them walking on the London streets. This is a scene of Daphne and Anthony riding in the park, and she says to him, "Lady Whistledown has all but declared me ineligible." Which this line seems weird to me, because as you watching probably already know who Lady Whistledown is, it seems weird to me that she will do or write anything that will endanger or harm the Bridgertons at all. So this line is probably an exaggeration from the plot, and they are weaving Lady Whistledown's column in the plot more closely, and maybe Lady Whistledown's writings are the reason Daphne and Simon decide to fake date. Then we have this line, "If I am unable to find a husband, I shall be ruined." This line, we don't see who or when it is said, but we hear Daphne's voice. So maybe that is a line she says after her and Simon are caught in a compromising situation. Then we have a shot of Daphne wearing black with a black ribbon in her hair and looking sad. I believe she's attending some kind of social function because we can see people behind her. So I suspect this might be a scene from after her and Simon have their altercation, and she decides to leave to come back to London alone. This is a scene of Simon and Daphne going to a ball together. This is from the time that they are fake courting each other. This is a wide shot of the ball, the same ball, with the outside dance floor and the fireworks. This is another shot of them attending a social function, probably from the time they're fake dating. Then we have Queen Charlotte, and she says, "A pairing like that would be most enchanting indeed." And I suppose she is talking about Simon and Daphne. And then we have a shot of Lady Violet Bridgerton drinking tea, and the same line is said. I believe this is in the palace because we can see the background. It's rather luxurious and lavish, and this footman in the back looks exactly as the footman that we see surrounding the Queen in other scenes. So I suspect she is drinking tea with Queen Charlotte. So that leads me to believe that her character has a substantial supporting role in the first season of the show. Here we have another scene from the palace. You can see the same footman with the red and gold livery coat. I'm not sure. And here we see this man is supposed to be Freddie Stroma, cast to play the character of Prince Friedrich. I checked the names of Queen Charlotte and King George III children, but none of them is named Friedrich. There is a Frederick, but he's rather more old. So I suspect Prince Friedrich is from some kind of German principality on the continent, as he's maybe related to the British royal family, which it's possible that he is also based on a real historical figure. As you know, the British royal family also comes from the principality, German principality on the continent. And this, I think, is Queen Charlotte, because her dress is rather unusual. The waistline is lower than the other ladies. You can see are wearing different kinds of dresses with a waistline higher. The silhouette was typical of the regions here, and Queen Charlotte's dresses are rather more elaborate and old-fashioned than the other ladies. Then we have another scene of Simon and Daphne walking in the park. In this scene, I believe this is Daphne, and she's talking to someone. I don't think this is not one of her brothers, so this is probably a scene from one of the balls she attends, and I suspect this is just a supporting character and doesn't have much to do with the plot. It just put in as a red herring of sorts. I don't think that this character is important. Then we see Daphne laughing, and she's talking to Queen Charlotte and Prince Friedrich. And I'm surprised, frankly, that Queen Charlotte is attending balls. I didn't know that the royalty was so involved with the social life back then. But she's laughing at something, and they look rather awkward looking at her. Then we have a scene of Daphne and Simon dancing at the beautiful outside garden ball. And we have a scene of Sienna and Anthony dancing, twirling around the room. And we have a scene of Simon and Daphne walking around in a field, which lead me to believe that this might be a scene from when they go to his country estate, because this looks like a country, it doesn't look like a city park. We see a scene of them in a cafe drinking tea. This is probably from the time they are still courting each other. And a scene of them looking at portraits in a gallery. I don't think there were galleries back then. It's probably a private estate that they were invited to. And we have this scene of them almost touching. I think it was posted, the picture of their hands touching, on the Bridgerton TV show social media. We have seen that. Then we have a scene of Marina and Colin Bridgerton looking lovingly into each other's eyes. I do believe they're setting up some kind of an attachment forming between Marina and Colin. I know that this is a contentious subject in the Bridgerton fandom, because that's a deviation from the books and from the characters of both Colin and Marina. But they have shown us a couple of scenes that lead me to believe that there is something between those two. This scene from the trailer and the scene in which he's asking Penelope where is Marina. And the other thing I wanted to share is we all know that Chris Fulton has been cast as Sir Philip Crane, and he is Marina's future husband in the books, and he's appearing in the episode called After the Rain. That's episode 8 in the first season, the final episode. He's listed as appearing as in only one episode. And we also have this actor, Ollie Higginson, who is listed as being cast as John, surname not stated. He's appearing in 2 episodes, After the Rain, which is the final episode, and Diamond of the First Water, which is episode 1. It's the first episode. So, John. John is the name of the elder brother of Philip Crane. And as you know, he was supposed to inherit the title, but he died in Waterloo, and that's how Philip inherited the title, the baronetcy. And Marina was engaged to John, and after he passed away before their marriage, Philip felt obliged to honor his brother's commitment to Marina and married her. And they lived together for 8 years and had 2 children before she tried to kill herself and then passed away of lung fever. But the Bridgerton series, season 1, takes place in the year 1813. It's established, as we can see, the Lady Whistledown Society papers dated from that year. And the Waterloo battle takes place in 1815, 2 years after that. So even if we are introduced to John and Philip in the final episode of the first season, I'm not sure that we will see an engagement or an attachment forming between Marina and John in the first season, because 2 years seems to me like a rather long time for an engagement without a marriage. The other theory I have is the other John in the book series is Francesca's first husband, John Sterling, Earl of Kilmartin. But it seems to be that since Francesca is 16 years old at the time that the first season takes place, it is rather early for us to be introduced to that character, John. I believe they meet each other, Francesca and John Sterling, in the year 1818. So that's 5 years in the future. So that's my theory. This John might be John Crane, Philip's elder brother. I think that is more plausible. And also he can be some other John, some other supporting character, and not have involvement in the plot. But the resolution of Colin and Marina storyline will probably come by the end of the season. Then we have a scene of Daphne upstairs on the staircase, and there are people, including Simon, waiting at the foot of the staircase. She's getting down, and that's Lady Danbury and Simon waiting for her to get down the stairs, and everything has been decorated in white flowers. She's wearing white, so I think this is a scene from their wedding. I believe this is their wedding day. Then we have a scene of Simon fighting. I'm Anthony, and as you can see, Simon is shirtless, but Anthony is dressed. So maybe Simon was training in the ring, and Anthony came to visit him, and Simon invited him for a short sparring session. Or Anthony is really angry with Simon for dating Daphne and decides to take his frustration in the boxing match. And here we can see them fighting, boxing, Anthony and Simon. Then we have a scene of Simon in the bedroom. This is maybe after his marriage with Daphne. This is a conversation between Anthony and Daphne. I suspect it is after he catches her in a compromising situation with Simon. Then we have a shot of the pistols from the duel. We have another scene with Penelope and Louise. And then we have this scene of Daphne saying, "So you think because I'm a woman, I'm incapable of making my own choices?" And I suspect this is a scene between her and Simon, and they're having quarreling with each other. Then we have a scene of Lady Danbury having the time of her life, smoking, drinking. I believe she will be a really fun character. Then we have a second sighting of Benedict, but the first close-up. This is Benedict Bridgerton, the second eldest Bridgerton child. This is a scene from the jail. This is Simon, and in the background we can see Anthony. This is some kind of garden party, and here is a better shot of Benedict, and this is Anthony. They got the height right. Benedict is taller than Anthony, as he is in the book. Here we have Lady Violet Bridgerton and Lady Danbury sitting on a bench in the park, and here we have a shot of Simon and Daphne dancing in that beautiful outside dance floor in the ball, but we have the addition of this beautiful tree decorated with lights and flowers, and it seems like she's wearing the same dress from the previous pictures from the ball, and they are dancing, so that is probably some kind of magical realism stuff, like they're dancing on the dance floor, and because they're so intensely connected, the other couples disappear, like similar to that scene from the 2005 Pride and Prejudice adaptation. Here's a close-up. And here we have a scene of Anthony and Sienna. She seems to have been crying, and she seems upset, and he comes to her room. They have probably quarreled, and now he's coming to reconcile with her, and they kiss. Here we have another scene from the ball with Daphne's blue dress, the ball with the fireworks, and the outside dance floor. This is a scene of Daphne under the rain. I don't know from where this is. They are attending some kind of party, you can see in the background, but she's wearing lilac, so I don't know from where it stands. We haven't seen that dress before. And here is a scene of Daphne, that is supposed to be Daphne in the blue cloak, stopping the duel. You can see that this is not Phoebe Geneva's face, the actress who played Daphne, but this is the face of a stunt woman, because she's supposed to, I think it's because of insurance purposes, the actress is not really experienced writer, so they're using a stunt woman to do this scene. But that's supposed to be Daphne stopping the duel between Simon and Anthony. Then we have the last scene. The last scene is, I believe, from their outing, the boat trip and picnic they took to Greenwich. We have all the Bridgerton family. Anthony, Benedict, Colin, Violet, Gregory, Hyacinth, and Daphne, and Simon, and Eloise. The only one we can see is Francesca, but I suppose she's somewhere in the background, and I believe this is from that day that they went to Greenwich and had a picnic. But this doesn't look like the Greenwich Observatory to me. Maybe they changed the location. We can see footmen in the background and an orchestra. And that's it. That's the last scene of the trailer. Them going on a picnic. Well, guys, I suppose you found this deep dive interesting. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited about the show, and I can't wait. Christmas can't come fast enough. Okay, that's it from me. Bye.